Hey YouTube, I'm back again. I'm here to show you what I've picked up over the last week. Mostly Blu Rays, but there are a few DVDs and even some video cassettes. So firstly, something that I bought from CEX off their website last weekend. I did briefly mention in the last video that I'd had something coming, but not very specifically. What I got was Trainspotting 2, the big sleeve edition. Oops. I have a few other of these big sleeve editions, and this was one of the rare Tesco's exclusive ones. Prior to that there was Rogue One, which I struggled to get that one as well. Either one of those I wasn't aware of. They were being released until it was too late. By the time I got down there, it was days. I think for Rogue One it was a couple of weeks after the release, and they were all gone. It was the same with this one. It was only a few days, but they'd all gone. On eBay, they were just doing stupid money, and CEX for weeks and weeks and weeks haven't had one of these online in stock that I've seen anyway. But this one came from Scotland, and if I'm perfectly honest, bit of a disappointment. Firstly, it's missing the J card, which is a card that sort of slips into the bottom and sort of covers the first inch or so at the bottom, like a sleeve, and then has a card all the way up the back, much like a J card on a steelbook does, with all the movie information and the ratings and the barcode and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, this didn't come with that, which was disappointing, because it wasn't cheap, and I prefer stuff to be complete. Now, as far as CEX are concerned, I guess I've pushed my luck with them quite a lot recently, because this isn't the first one of these. This is the first one of this particular title I've had, but it's not the first big sleeve edition I've had, and all the others I've been lucky, I guess, that they were complete. And it's been the same with some steelbooks. I mean, I took a massive risk on that Fright Night steelbook, knowing that probably wouldn't come with a J card, but it actually did, so I was pleased. But for something like this, let me just find Rogue One. So as you can see, at the bottom there's a card which matches the artwork. This one doesn't have, but this just slips out of. And then you've got a small sleeve at the bottom, and then that on the back. Why would you chuck that away? I don't understand. It's an integral part of the Blu Ray. But there you go. Whoever owned this did. The rest of it is nice. This one's only a 2-disc. That Rogue One was a 3-disc, but it's great artwork inside. There's a set of art cards as well, which they all come with. These aren't that great, if I'm honest. So you've got, that's on the back of all of them, which is similar to the cover, but obviously without the characters on. And first one is literally just the wallpaper on Ewan McGregor's bedroom wall. Then that's pretty dull. That's about the best one of the lot. And then the fourth one, just the silhouettes in orange. So yeah, overall, it's been a bit of a disappointment. And I watched the film on Thursday. This came on Wednesday. Obviously too big to go through the letterbox, so I went back and collected it on Thursday from the... No, I didn't. It was Wednesday I collected it. And I watched it that evening. The film wasn't great. It wasn't awful by any means, but it wasn't great. It certainly wasn't as good as the original. So I'm not keeping this. I've already listed it on eBay. Hopefully I'll be able to get my money back. I could have returned it. There is an option to return. They have a returns policy at CEX, but you have to pay the return postage, and that's going to be like £3 or £4, maybe more, with the size of it. So I decided I'm going to cut my losses, put it on eBay. The last couple I've sold on eBay have sold in excess of £50, but they were new and sealed. This one isn't new or sealed or even complete, so I don't expect it to go anywhere close to that. But if I can get my money back on it, I'll be happy. If I don't, then I don't, but we'll see. So yeah, overall a little bit disappointed. The film was meh. It was a bit better than meh, but it wasn't great. Didn't blow me away, not like the original one did. So yeah, that's Trainspotting 2. I'll just have a quick stop here and we'll carry on. Okay, next up, TV show I spotted on eBay. It was £4 opening bid. Nobody had bid on it, so I put in a cheeky bid. I literally just bid the £4. I thought if somebody outbids me, then they outbid me, but they didn't. So grabbed it for just a little over a £5, including the postage, which I'm really happy about. It's the cheapest I've seen it up to now. Even CEX is still, I think, a tenner, but it comes with this little cover which is really tight on there, so I'm not going to try and pull it off any further. Fear the Walking Dead, the complete first season. I'm a huge fan of The Walking Dead. I absolutely love that show. I've seen the first episode of this. It was broadcast on, I can't remember what channel it was, but I believe they were exclusive to BT. But the first night they aired for free on Freeview, and this was showing just the first episode. So I've seen the first episode, but I haven't seen any more of this as yet, so I'll definitely be getting into that. Then, as I usually do on a Friday after work yesterday, I had a wander around the town, did some of the charity shops, and picked up a few VHS tapes. So for the princely sum of 20p, Billy Connolly's World Tour of Australia. I thought it was Australia and New Zealand, but maybe it's just Australia. But yeah, it's a VHS double cassette inside. Really chuffed about that. 20p, was a bargain. And then a couple for 10p each. We've got the widescreen edition of Labyrinth. I watched this last night. I haven't seen this film for years, and I was under the impression that I didn't really enjoy it. I don't know why. I wonder if I'm getting a little bit mixed up with the Dark Crystal, because I'm pretty sure that I didn't like that much. But this was great fun. I really enjoyed it, and I think I'm probably going to have to look out for it on Blu Ray now, because as much fun as this was on VHS, it wasn't the best looking, but yeah, for 10p. And then also for 10p, got Gremlins and Gremlins 2 double feature, and a couple of they came from Butterwick Hospice charity shop, and these next two came from Sue Riders, and they were £1 each, or 2 for £1, so literally 50p each. Once Upon a Time in the West. So it's coming away at the top there. Actually, I need to just put a little bit of glue on. But yeah, awesome looking set in a slipcover with a digipack, which I thought was pretty neat. Comes with a booklet in there and some postcards. So yeah, overall that's a really nice set, and for 50p. And then also the original Dad's Army movie with a slipcover. This is brand new sealed. I imagine this was probably reissued, was it last year, the year before, when the new Dad's Army movie came out? I can only assume, I don't know. There may well be a year on there. Does it say there somewhere? Doesn't want to focus, but I think it says 2016. Yeah, but yeah, this is a lot of fun. I have seen it, but a long time ago. Then from, where did these come from? Oh, these were in the Salvation Army. They had a load of great stuff on the shelf. About 5 series of Lovejoy, 1 series of Life on Mars, which I have them both there actually on DVD. I'm going to trade them in, 'cause last week I got the Blu Rays. And they had all 8 series of Hustle. And pretty much every single disc, or at least 1 or 2 in each set, had really badly scratched discs. Like I said, the complete set of Hustle I ended up picking up. These were 99p each. Series 3 and Series 8. They were the only ones that had discs that were even passable. Both of these have still got discs that are scratched, but they're not so badly scratched that I think that they won't play. I think they'll play okay, but the rest of them were really bad, and I was gutted because they had I think it was 5 or 6 series of Lovejoy. They didn't have series 1, but they had series 2 on to either 2 through to 6 or 2 through to 7, I can't remember. And they're £1.50 each. Absolute bargains, but like I said, the discs were terrible. And then the only other thing I picked up, and this was also 99p, Top Gear, The Great Adventures 2, Botswana Special and Vietnam Special. I'm pretty sure I've seen both of these. Vietnam one I've definitely seen. Botswana I'm not sure, but it's a director's cut, so chances are I've not seen that version. Then head up the pound shop. They had a delivery at some point during the week and had stocked up with quite a few Blu Rays. So again, all these for £1 a piece. The Trust, never heard of this movie. It's a Nicolas Cage movie, and he has made some real stinkers in the last few years. But Elijah Wood is in this, and I pretty much like almost everything he's been in. The exception being the Lord of the Rings movies. Don't like those. I should. The type of thing I would watch, but I just didn't like them. But pretty much everything else I've seen Elijah Wood in, yeah, it's been great. So I have high hopes that might be okay. Then we've got Terminator Salvation. This is a slipcover. I'm not sure the collection that this is from, but there are a bunch of others that were released with very similar slipcovers. was District 9 and Total Recall and Battle Los Angeles that I can think of, and maybe some others with these specific style slipcovers, but yeah, for £1. And it's got a ultraviolet. Whether it's still valid or not, we'll find out. Shark Week, never seen this. Tagline is 7 days, 7 sharks, 1 survivor. Yeah, that should be pretty good. Last night, Morgan Freeman and Clive Owen. What's not to like? Hopefully that'll be good. And Saints and Soldiers: The Void. I have the original Saints and Soldiers movie on DVD, and it is absolutely fantastic. Really, really good war film, based on a true story, I believe. This, I think, is the 3rd in the series. There is another one, but the second one and the 3rd one were both released through 101 Films. I don't know if they're literally just sequels in name alone, or whether they have any of the same characters from the first film. I don't know, but I suppose I'm going to have to try and get hold of the second one before I can watch this one. But yeah, Saints and Soldiers. Then also yesterday, a store in town that used to be cash generators until a few years ago, and for whatever reason they changed the name, now called Time Bargains, and yeah, they're pretty poor ever since CEX opened up in town. The stuff that Time Bargains gets now is literally the bottom of the barrel, and it's very rare there's anything in there that's worth getting. From time to time, sometimes there is, and this was one of those times, I think. I've got Mrs. Brown's Boys Live. This is somewhat factory sealed. It's a little bit split, but still new. This was £1. This is Good Morning Mrs. Brown. I actually saw this live in Newcastle in 2012 or 13, sometime around then, I think. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, so look forward to checking that out again. And then finally yesterday, checked out Grainger Games, picked up a Blu Ray and a DVD on Blu Ray, got some more Doctor Who. This is the Christmas Carol, one of Matt Smith's Christmas specials. And on DVD, Galaxy Raiders. This is another 101 Films release. I don't know anything about this, but it looks like good cheesy sci-fi, just my street. And that's it for yesterday. I decided this morning, not particularly nice day today, you know, drizzly Saturday, it's been all day. I thought, because the Poundland had got a few new Blu Rays in, or quite a few new Blu Rays in, I wondered if any of the others have, and there's 5 locally within a short driving distance, and I thought I'll try the other 4 today, because I went to one yesterday, and see what they've got, and picked up a few. So the first one I went to, I didn't see any of these titles in any of the others, funnily enough. All 4 that I went to today all had more or less the same titles as I saw yesterday. There was 1 or 2 here and there that were unique to one, or well, just one store. There was some that there was maybe a couple that were available in 2 or even 3, but the majority, like I say, were titles that were in all stores, and most of what I saw, the stuff that I wasn't interested in already owned. I did actually put a few clips of video up on Instagram while I was out, so you could go check those out. Just sort of 30 seconds of footage scanning the Blu Rays that they had. And one of the 4 stores, the second one I went to, had more Blu Rays than I'd ever seen in a pound shop. It must have been about 100. But yeah, So first, again, another film I've never heard of, Killer Elite, but it's Jason Statham and Clive Owen. Love both those actors. Robert De Niro used to be great, more recently not so much, but yeah, with at least with Jason Statham it's got to be reasonable. Point Blank, again another blind buy. It's a French film, but it is dubbed in English. Just sounded pretty good, so grab that. And finally, from this first store, Hostel Part 3. Got Hostel 1 and 2 last week. I think I've got Hostel 2 on DVD. I got the Hostel 1 and 2 on as a double pack on Blu Ray last week. So when I saw this, I thought I'll get the third one to complete the set. Then the second pound shop I went to, there was only 2 in there that I was really interested in. Again, another film I've never heard of. But, it's an animation. Thought I'd give it a go. Norm of the North. And Hangover Part 3, probably not the best of the Hangover movies. In fact, probably not even the second best of the Hangover movies, but it's still entertaining. And then finally, from Poundland number 3, Sylvester Stallone, Bullet to the Head. Know of this film literally by title only, don't know much about it. And Essex Boys Retribution. Again, don't know much about it. I think it's a sequel to the Essex Boys film that came out in the early 2000s, the one with Sean Bean. But yeah. And the last of the 4 Poundlands I went to, there was nothing in there at all that I wanted, so I didn't get anything. But also, while I was out today, I had a quick look around some of the charity shops that not been to for a while, and I found in the British Heart Foundation a couple of TV series DVDs. So I got The Detectives, which was 99p, the complete first series. I could have sworn I had this, but when I looked on the app on my phone, it was series 2 and I think series 4 that I have, but not series 1. And a really good sci-fi show from I think the mid-noughties, The Triangle. Really enjoyed this. I think it was on Sky One. It's only a 2-part. I think it's a 3-hour sort of mini series. But yeah, it was entertaining. It was more than entertaining. It was enjoyable. And then finally, from my trip out today in CEX, I think this is the bargain of the week, and it's the second one of these I've come across in CEX. The first one was I think a couple of years ago. Fury Blu Ray Steelbook. Now, for whatever reason, I don't know the answer. CEX do not have a separate category, if that's the right word, for Fury Blu-ray and Fury Blu-ray Steelbook. As far as they're concerned, they're exactly the same, and so they sell them at the same price. For £4, this is an absolute bargain. Still got the J card on. This is in slightly better condition than mine, which I also got from CEX, like I said, a couple of years ago. I only paid £5 for that one. So this will probably replace mine, and then that other one will go on eBay. Get it open. So there's a digital copy there. I already have the digital copy of this. It is still in date, but obviously this is second hand. That might have already been redeemed, but if you want to give it a try, let me know if it works. Yeah. So very chuffed that I got that. And then finally, when I got back from my little trip out this afternoon, I received a parcel in the post, which I wasn't expecting today. This was came from Zavvi, and it's the Arrow Release Society Steelbook. this, according to the email I received, was only posted yesterday, and it stated delivery estimate was between Wednesday and Friday next week, which when I read that I really wasn't happy, because it's supposed to be released on Monday. And Zavvi, I don't know that I've ever had anything from Zavvi that's reached me the following day, the day after it was posted. So yeah, very unexpected, but happy to have got this. So it keeps my Arrow Steelbook collection complete, although there are more coming. The Thing obviously is out in October, and Bride of Reanimator I think comes out next month as a steelbook, and apparently, according to the Arrow podcast, they will be announcing another steelbook this month to be released. What we know, maybe December. I think December. I'm not 100% sure about when it's been released, but it's apparently it's definitely. They said they were going to be announcing 2 this month, but one of those was Bride of Reanimator, which actually got announced right at the tail end of July. So yeah, there's allegedly going to be another announcement this month for a new steelbook coming, but I don't know what the title's going to be, obviously, until that's announced. And I'm rambling again now. So that is everything this week, and I'm really chuffed for the most part. Trainspotting 2, yeah, selling that one. Fury, will be putting a copy of that up on eBay this week as well. No trade stuff this week either. It's been a while since I've picked anything new up to just strictly for trading in at CEX. That's generally something I find at the car boot sale, sometimes in the charity shops, but more often at the car boot sale. The way the weather's been today, it's unlikely I'll be going to the car boot sale in the morning, but at least I've got these 3 that I replaced on Blu Ray last week to trade in. Wolf and To Life on Mars. Well, so at least that's something. Anyway, if you're still watching, well done for getting all this way through, and thanks very much, and I will catch you next time. Ta-ra.